Good morning, all. Hope you are all fine. And today's topic of the discussion is How the Camel Got His Hump by Rudyard Kipling. And before I proceed, I hope you have gone through the story and got some understanding. And let us see a few details about the author. Rudyard Kipling was born in 1865 in British India, which inspired much of his work. His works of fiction include The Jungle Book in 1894 and many short stories. His children's books are classics, and one critic noted that he had a versatile and luminous narrative gift. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, he was among the United Kingdom's most popular writers, and he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature, the first English language writer to receive the prize. And at 41, its youngest recipient to date. Following his death in 1936, his ashes were interred at Poets' Corner, part of the south transept of Westminster Abbey. You see, Westminster Abbey is a notable and religious building and a burial site in the United Kingdom. Poets' Corner is the place there where many poets, writers, and playwrights buried and commemorated. Here we have some new words and the meanings. You can have a look at them. Prickles, presently, fetch, yoke, plow, makeup, curd, stroke, reflection, hump, idle, and of course, humph. Here you see this word presently. Here it means after a short time. It can also mean currently, and it can also mean to talk about a future action. And look at this word makeup. It means to compensate for something deficient or to balance, which means you do something to reduce the effect of previous thing or to reduce the loss. For example, do we have school now? No. And what do we do? I mean, what are we doing? So we are learning through online classes. So you can say we are learning through online classes to make up for the loss of normal teaching classes in school. Now next word here, stroke. Stroke means here a single action or event. So here in this text, work is an uncountable noun, and you can say a work, so you can say a stroke of work. Now see this word idle. Idle means avoiding work or lazy. And of course, the most important word, humph. It is an expression to show doubt or to show no interest. By the way, who did say this? Yes, it was the camel. Now, introduction to characters. So, what are the main characters or key characters? Yes, man, all animals worked for him. The horse to carry the man on his back, the dog to fetch wood, the ox to plow, and the camel, yes, to say humph. He did nothing. And the genie in charge of all deserts, and he wanted no one to be idle. Now, here is the story. You see, the story was set in Arabia, and it was the time when the world was beginning. All the animals were beginning to work for man, and the camels didn't have their humps. This camel lived in a howling desert. They ate sticks, thorns, and prickles. Yes, you all know he did nothing but always said humph. The horse, the dog, and the ox, they toiled hard, they worked hard, and they urged the camel, but he never joined them in the work. And the horse was the first to go to the camel. And on what day? Yes, Monday. On Monday, he went to the camel and asked him to come out and to trot. What did the camel say? Yes, he would just say, humph. Now the horse went to the man and told him. And the dog and the ox also tried to make the camel work. The dog asked him to fetch wood, and the ox asked to plow. But the camel repeated its response and he said, humph. So, what did the dog and the ox do? They also told the man. The man was sorry for them, but unfortunately for the three, what he did was he said they would have to work double time. He said he would leave the camel alone. And these animals didn't expect it, so they were upset. They were angry. Now, when they were upset and angry, the camel came chewing curd, laughed at them, and said, humph, when they were holding a panchayat at the edge of the desert. Now, in the next part of the story, the genie would come. Who is genie here? The in charge of all deserts. By the way, this is the Arabian spelling for the word genie. And when he came, these three met him. The horse told him about the idle camel. He said the camel was in the middle of his desert and had not done a stroke of work since Monday. Why did he say so? Because the genie wanted all to work. Now the ox said, the camel always said humph and never plowed. The genie, after listening to the three, who are the three here? Yes, the three animals, the horse, the dog, and the ox. He assured them that he would set things right, or he would make the camel work, or probably he would teach him a lesson. Now the genie met the humph thing. Who is the humph thing here? The camel. Now the camel was looking at his own reflection in a pool. Now the genie sat there with his chin in his hand and told the camel that he had given the three extra work because of his laziness, and because of his not doing any work, now they had to work double time and they were burdened. What did the camel do? The camel didn't say anything but humph. He said it, and then genie warned him. Genie advised him not to say it too often. But the camel repeated it, and no sooner had he said than he saw his back puffing up, and finally he had a big hump. And the camel was now sad. But the genie said it was his own fault. He brought it upon himself by avoiding work. Now the camel had to work. So the camel was sad to see, because he was always proud of his back. Now his back had this hump, and he said he couldn't work with the hump, as it was a hurdle or some inconvenient to work with the hump. The genie would tell him that it was a favor by him to the camel. Now, since he had to work for 3 days without eating, he could live on his hump. And do you know? The camels usually stores fat, not water, in the hump, and they live on that fat when there was nothing to, or there is nothing to eat. So whenever they use the fat in the hump, it would droop down or it would shrink. Okay, now let us come back to the story. So he had this hump, and the genie told him it was a favor because he had to work 3 days without eating and he could live on his hump. The hump was something that the genie did for the camel, and the camel should learn to behave. Now, what happened? The camel joined the tree, and he had been carrying the hump since then. So, of course, we call it hump rather than humph, not to hurt his feelings and probably not to remind him of his beautiful back. So the camel paid price. He had lost his beautiful back. And one more thing, the 3 days he missed out in the beginning of the world, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, he could never make up for them. He could never compensate the 3 days he missed, and he had never learned to behave. Did you get the story? By the way, what can we learn from this story? You see here, procrastination is never good. What is procrastination? Yes, postponing. Like the hump, which is a collection of fat, when you postpone things one after the other, one after the other, all the things would pile up and we will be burdened and had to suffer with the piled up things. You see, sometimes we will never be able to catch up and may have to suffer the pain of postponing the things. Hope you all got this story, how the camel got his hump, by Rudyard Kipling. And here is a summary for you. You can have a look at it. So let me read it out for you. It was a time when the animals were working for man. A camel lived in a howling desert. He was lazy and never had done a stroke of work. The dog, the horse, and the ox all urged him to join in their work, but he only said, "Humph." And unfortunately for them, the man said that they had to work longer hours to balance and compensate the camel's work. Then they complained to the genie, who was in charge of all deserts and never accepted anyone to be idle. The camel didn't pay much attention to the genie's words and said "humph" when he advised him to work. And no sooner had the camel said "humph," his back puffed up, and the camel had got a humph or hump, obviously as a punishment or to teach a lesson to his laziness. The genie, however, told him because he had to work for 3 days without eating, he could live on his hump, and it was like a favor, and it was to make up for the days he had missed. And he still has his hump, and he never did make up the last time, and he still behaves badly. Thank you. Take necessary notes.